Welcome to Coddiwompling Along The Tao with Noel Eastwood. This is episode 8 and this is about the middle pillar meditation. Now, this is something that I found when I was just a youngster and I've used it quite a lot. It's probably don't use it very much these days, but I use the basic principle of what it does. This came about probably from the British East India Company's invasion, we could say, occupation of India, over the last 4 or 5 centuries. They would have been in touch with all the spiritual practices of the Indian yogis and the Indian gurus. They are the teachers of spiritual practices. Now, not for a moment do I think that the yogis would have taught the conqueror, the enemy, their secrets. But I imagine that journalists write, like Rudyard Kipling was a journalist there, and the information on the magical things that the yogis could do, levitation and, pins and needles and lying on beds of nails, those sort of things, fascinated the people. And around in the 19th century in particular, there was this enormous wave of interest in the spiritualism in Europe and America. So it probably comes from there. This is an exercise that was promoted by Israel Regard, who was a member of the Hermetic Order of Golden Dawn back in the turn of the last century. Anyway, let's get to it. There's a couple of websites that I'll put down the bottom for you to go to that you can get for more information, because I just want to introduce this to you because it is interesting. It's probably one of the first serious meditation forms that I ever practiced, and it is actually very important that you learn very simple principles, particularly of these two energy centers above, the one above the head and the one below the soles of the feet. These two give you a platform of feeling safe and secure in your body, so that when you're doing your meditations, you're in a very safe space. If you go to my soundcloud.com channel, just go soundcloud.com. Actually, it's probably, there it is down here. soundcloud.com Noel-Eastwood. One of those meditations is the cocoon, and that's very similar to this, particularly putting that cocoon around you, uniting the top chakra with the bottom one in like a silkworm's cocoon. Very nice. Anyone that has difficulty sleeping, nightmares, that sort of stuff, scary stuff happening, then this particular meditation is very valuable. Now, it is experiential. That means that you feel it, so you can visualize it and have colors and have verbalizations, like the sounds of the chakras that are promoted in those websites. But for me, as a Taoist practitioner, I'm not interested in the magic side of it or anything like that. I'm not interested in any dogma or rules. I do it because it works. That's the important thing to me. So this one here is like a big ball of light, and it can be as big as a beach ball or a basketball or a tennis ball, whatever happens for you. So you imagine that ball of light about 2 feet above your head, or even up to a meter high. And you build it and you create it. It's like inviting the sun to come down. It's that amount of energy that we want. And so you feel it radiating its warmth on your shoulders and your back and your face and your head. That's what we're after, that amount of energy. And remember, it is tactile. Now, you can actually put your breath into that ball of light and breathe it. And it will come down into your... Remember, our breathing in Taoism is from here, from the navel. So there's your nose. And behind your nose is your lungs in your abdomen, in the furnace and the cauldron. So you can breathe this chakra from down here. And that's what we learn. We train to do this. This is an exercise that you practice. You put enormous amounts of effort into your meditational practices, and that's when you get the results. You don't expect to do it because you tried it once. Forget it. Okay. Now, at the top of your head is called the crown chakra, and is at the very top. The actual chakra itself is your brain. Your brain is this one massive plexus of nerves, which is this picture here, which I will drag over here and make it a little bit smaller. So here's the nerve plexuses that I spoke about in the last presentation. They're massive bundles of nerves that we call chakras, or have been called chakras. So there are chakras or energy. So chakra means wheel or center. They're associated with bundles of nerves. Now that big bundle inside your head, there's no sensory nerves in your brain, so you're not going to really feel it, which is why they can do open brain surgery and carve out bits of your brain, and you're sitting there watching TV. You don't feel a thing, so you can't actually feel that chakra, but you will feel it on the very top of your head. In Tai Chi we say you feel like your head is suspended by a string, okay? That's what it feels like. Now you can actually feel the energy from that chakra. You just tap gently on the top of your head. Hang on, I'll bring my head down a bit. And then you run your hand over it. And you'll feel, it's about that round. The diameter, it's a channel or a tube of energy that goes up about the diameter of a ping pong ball or a golf ball. With small children, it's a breeze. You just run your hand over the top of their head and you'll feel the energy pouring out. Okay, so that's the top there. You'll feel it on your temples and your third eye and your eyes. Now, when you get eye strain, you can actually train yourself to breathe the energy into your body, particularly the navel chakra, and imagine that you're breathing it out through your eyes, through that area there. Okay? It feels nice. It's very relaxing, very calming. But to put the energy into the center of your brain, that's a no-no. You don't do that. That's where you're going to get all sorts of problems. Congestion irritates and inflames the nerves. So if you get inflammation, you get swelling. Not a good idea in a enclosed, immovable brain that's enclosed in bone. You expand that and you get, or swelling, you get real problems. So you feel it on the very top and it goes up to here. Lovely. You feel it in your eyes and your third eye. So you feel it on the surface. Don't go into your brain. And when I was taught Tai Chi, that's basically what we were taught. Don't go in there. These upper chakras can be extremely sensitive. Okay, the next one is your voice box. Okay, there it is there. So that's a lovely one. Actually, that's quite a safe one. You can actually put your mind down there and feel. So the energy comes down a little bit like rain or a cloud. And your senses feel it. And it can be any color that you like. I like gold and white. They're my favorite colors, probably because I'm a Leo. So you're allowed to come through your body or around your body. It's not important. Come down, and it's gentle and soft and soothing. We don't want it burning. That's fire energy. Fire energy, yeah, it burns. We're not interested in that. We're interested in the water. Pure Taoism. So this one glows, and you can breathe that in and out. That's quite safe. Now the heart chakra is something that when I teach people to do the inner hug, they imagine they're hugging their inner self or a younger self, and the energy that you feel there glows outwards, and you feel it at this part here. You feel it in your heart center, but more on the surface. It's safer on the surface, and it flows into your inner self. You feel them feeling it, and they relax. It feels lovely. So this one is nice, but don't go into the heart, because heart palpitations happen. And I know, because that's what happened to me when I did my chakra work. And headaches, massive headaches, and gluggy head, sure, you can open this chakra, and when it does open, I will talk about that at some other time, and same with the head. But these two, for the time being, just don't go into the organs themselves. Don't go into your heart. Don't go into your brain. Feeling on the surface, the eyes, the top of the head, even the atlas point at the back of your head is safe, but not inside. And the throat's actually quite safe. You're not going to have any nasty side effects. But the heart one, on the surface, not inside. Because your heart is run by electric currents. It's like, that's why pacemakers work. These are nerve energy. So our chi, our life force, is nerve energy. The nerves are all electrical currents. Okay, so we don't want to interfere with the electrical currents that regulate our heart, because you can, well, first of all, you're going to get heart palpitations. That's a given. I have first-hand experience on that one. Okay, the plexus here at the solar plexus, that's quite safe. You can go in there and build that up, and it's great for your digestion. And as you bring the energy down through your body and you're breathing that energy, you can breathe it from here or from your navel or from the one at the bottom. You're breathing. Try and make it 360 degrees experience, so very sensory, involving all your senses. This one's safe. Let that one glow. Now this is the main one. In Taoist meditation, in Taoist alchemy, in Chinese medicine, the navel chakra and the lower back, the sacrum here, this area here, is associated with the energy generation of the whole body. So it's like a nuclear reactor. That's where the energy comes from to do the magic that we do. We focus our energy there, and that's where I start all my meditations. I just put my hand over the top of that. It brings my mind down to it, because I'm lazy, and boom, away we go. So this one, number one, the base chakra. Okay, this is down, it's in the genitals basically. So we're looking at the male G-spot, which is called in Chinese alchemy, Taoist alchemy, it's called the $1 million point. Reason being is that in ancient times, no one knew where it was. And old men with lots of money would pay $1 million to know how to get more sexual energy, you would say. So for the male, it's the male G-spot. For the female, it's a female G-spot. But that region is chock-a-block with nerves. See, there's no single point in any of these that is where the chakra is. It's a large area. And this one is very safe as well. This one can be, the base chakra, I've written an article about it, like in my newsletters, can be used for astral travel as well, just as much as this one here. And that can glow all the way down here. Sometimes it feels like a pogo stick. So you can imagine you're sitting there and you're supported by the beam of light that comes out of your base chakra. The energy also comes out of your hands, and it comes out of in the middle of your hand there. Okay, that's where it comes out. It's about the size of a ping pong ball. And so you want them glowing as well. Then we move down to the soles of your feet. And if my hands were feet, like there's your toes, that's the ball where touches the ground, and there's the heel that touches the ground. But in the middle, the soft bit is the chakra itself. Now, it's not necessarily a chakra like these guys. Okay, this is massive amounts. But you train yourself to actually feel the energy that comes out of them. Now, these ones I call, when you're walking, that centered walking that I teach with the Empress, which I'll be talking about in my next video. The Empress teaches Fallen to walk that centered walking, which is a slide, where the whole foot touches the ground. Now that's like you're kissing the ground with the soles of your feet, where you're actually kissing the ground with that part of your foot. Okay, that chakra there. And it's a special form of walking. If you walk in bare feet, that's what you do. You can't heel walk. Like we walk heel first, then the foot goes down. because we have soles on that cushion the blow. But if you have bare feet, or you're walking in very thin thongs or thin slippers, it's the whole foot that goes down. So that's what we're after. And that will glow. Great. I don't think I'll be able to edit that out, sorry. My editing skills are still very infantile. And then we have this other massive ball of light, again, that can be about 1 meter below you. And that is the earthing one. And it is, again, radiant like a ball of lava. And then we can unite them with those streams of energy like a silkworm's cocoon. It's very safe. So we start off here and we slowly flow that energy down, waking up these chakras, these energy centers down to here. Then if you want to, you can bring it up again. Okay? So one goes down, one goes up. Does it matter which way they go? I like this one that goes down because it is calming. This one that goes up is arousing. So it depends what you want to do. If you want to go to sleep, you might just want to do this one alone. Now there's a part 2 to the middle pillar exercise. Part 1 is you do it yourself. You're lying down, you're sitting up, or you're standing up. Doesn't really matter. The part 2 is your clone, your astral body. Now, I mentioned that in my previous video on Taoist Alchemy of the clone that left my body when their ball of light went out and brought back the soldiers that had been killed. That clone is what you imagine standing next to you or standing over there. And this is good to do when you're lying in bed, which is when I would do it. Or sometimes if you're not feeling well, you might be sitting in your lounge chair. You can just close your eyes. But you're seeing them, which is a clone of yourself, doing the middle pillar exercise. So you're feeling it in your body as they're doing it. So sometimes I would watch myself doing the middle pillar. I'll watch myself doing certain forms of Tai Chi. So I'm feeling it in my body as well as feeling it in my clone's body. Now, I know that is pretty weird. It's pretty strange, but that's what we do in magic. That's what we do in Taoist Alchemy and in, other forms of magic, I suppose is another word that we could call it. Anyway, I'm not going to bore you with me gas bagging because I do go on, I know that. And I'll catch you with the next one where I'll have the Empress and the Emperor and I'll talk a little bit more about these things. Okay, thanks for watching and supporting.